Beautiful. Good morning. I'm Don Stowers. I'm the Veterans Officer at New River Community College. And on behalf of the administration, faculty and staff, and students, we welcome you to NRCC. Today we continue a proud tradition of hosting a Veterans Day ceremony at NRCC. It is an honor and a privilege to celebrate all veterans who are part of the college community and our community in general. Through discussions with our veterans often say that service in the military has helped them set higher expectations for themselves and helped them succeed at a higher level. The military, they say, has enhanced or developed their positive attitudes they possess. But not only that, veterans bring esprit de corps to their school and to their places of business. They bring experiences from working in diverse locations and with diverse groups. They bring understanding of mission and tactics to accomplish it. Don't forget, though, that many newly discharged veterans have interrupted the somewhat natural transition from high school to college or the world of work. They certainly have chosen a different path by serving their country first, a pathway by displaying courage and valor and honor, and by sacrificing a portion of their life for the greater good, just as other veterans have done in the past. At the Veterans Day ceremony today, let's pledge to remember to thank those who served. We thank them for their selflessness, their sacrifice and bravery, and for the part they have played in advancing the cause of freedom and peace in the world. We are a better nation because of their service. Please note that veterans today are fittingly wearing a badge which reads, "I proudly served." And now, the color guard from the Criminal Justice Program at Pulaski County High School will present the colors, followed by the singing of the national anthem by Miss Serena Moore, accompanied by Miss Angela Talbert. Mr. Barry Cox will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Veterans are invited to offer a hand salute during the singing of the national anthem. Please stand as you're able.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Thank you, members of the Color Guard, Ms. Moore, Ms. Talbert, Mr. Cox. I want to thank Angela Talbert, director, and the freshman chorus from Pulaski County High School for agreeing to present musical selections today. My Country, 'Tis of Thee dates from 1831 and is one of our country's most familiar patriotic songs. This Veterans Day, and you'll see the poster on the screens, marks the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I. World War I left the beautiful countryside in Western Europe blasted and bombed. In those muddy fields, there was little vegetation, but in the devastation of it all, beautiful, delicate poppies grew. In the poem In Flanders Fields, the poppies became a symbol for all of the soldiers who died and sacrificed during that brutal and destructive war. The point of view of the poem, and then in the song today, is from the dead soldiers. Listen to the words as the soldiers employ us to take up the torch and keep freedom alive. Finally, today, the chorus will sing a tribute to the armed services, which provides the song for each one of the 5 military branches. We'll show the seal of each service as they're singing, and we ask that veterans who served in that individual service would stand while the song is being sung. And now, the freshman chorus from Pulaski County High School with Miss Angela Talbert, director. Thank you.
Good morning. This is the freshman chorus from Pulaski County, and although they're on their very best behavior today, I promise you, at 10 o'clock on any weekday morning, they're not this reserved, I promise. But they're being on their best behavior, and this is their first public performance as a group all by themselves. Last night, they performed with the other 2 choirs from Pulaski County High School, but this is their first public performance, and they're very excited to sing for you today. As Dr. Stowers said, our first selection is My Country, 'Tis of Thee, and we hope that you enjoy this arrangement. Our soloist for this number today is Faith Odell. Our next selection, as Dr. Stowers referred to, is In Flanders Field. And we're so very happy to find this song on the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I. And we've learned a lot by studying and performing this song. And it's a beautiful song called In Flanders Field, and our soloist is Sydney Goad.
In Flanders fields, the poppies blow between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place. And in the sky, the larks still bravely singing fly. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we are the dead, short days ago. We lived the dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields, in Flanders fields, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up your quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields, in Flanders fields. We shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields, in Flanders fields.
We had the privilege last night at Pulaski County High School to perform a Veterans Day concert where several veterans were in attendance. And for me as a choir director, it was such an honor to watch my students, there were about 85 students on stage at the time, to watch their reaction when we honored the veterans branch by branch. So today in this song, when we sing tribute to the armed services, if you are a veteran, when you hear your marching song, would you please stand and let the audience as well as our choir recognize you for your service. And on behalf of the choir, thank you for your sacrifice and your service for our country.
Ms. Talbert and chorus, that was just terrific. Thank you very much again. Our guest speaker today is Dr. Patricia Huber, president of New River Community College. When Dr. Huber graduated from Whitfield Community College, she dreamed of being an English teacher, never giving a thought to being a college president as she is today. Last year, she became New River's 5th president and its first female president, capping 26 years of work at NRCC. After graduating from WCC, she earned her bachelor's degree in English from Emory and Henry College, her master's degree in secondary education from West Virginia University, and her doctorate in community college leadership from Old Dominion University. She has worked as that long-dreamed-about high school English teacher, some at Pulaski County High School, and she has held these positions as well as others at NRCC: English college instructor and assistant professor, Dean of Arts and Sciences, Vice President of Instruction and Student Services, as well as President. Dr. Huber is a friend to all. She is devoted to student success and to the personal well-being of her faculty and staff and students. She is generous and kind and astute, epitomizing everything that we could want in a leader. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Patricia Huber.
Good morning. Welcome to New River Community College for our annual observance of Veterans Day. Thank you for joining us as we honor veterans in our community for their patriotism and their service to our country. First of all, let me say a thank you to Dr. Stowers for inviting me to share some remarks this morning. I consider this a real privilege and honor to stand here today. Dr. Stowers and many others on this campus work hard to ensure a positive, welcoming atmosphere for all of our students, and especially for our veterans. New River Community College is designated a military-friendly school and is committed to serving veterans and their families in navigating the processes for higher education. I also thank the other participants, the choir, the color guard, as well as those who've worked hard in the planning and preparations for this event. This year's celebration of Veterans Day is even more memorable to us as it celebrates, as Dr. Stowers has pointed out and the posters show, the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I. The First World War ended on November 11th, 1918, and it is significant that on the 11th hour, on the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, the major fighting of World War I ended as the armistice went into effect. From our history lessons, we know and remember the words most often associated and attributed to President Woodrow Wilson, who claimed that this war was to be the war that ended all wars. The congressional resolution that was passed to establish Armistice Day stated, in part, that a recurring anniversary of this date should be commemorated with thanksgiving and prayer and exercises designed to perpetuate peace through goodwill and mutual understanding between nations. In 1954, the name was officially changed from Armistice Day to Veterans Day to honor all veterans from every war and conflict. And that is why we are here today, to remember, honor, and express gratitude to all those who have served our country, and to remember the sacrifices and courage in defending our freedoms. Unfortunately, World War I was not the war that ended all wars. All too soon, following World War I, the United States was thrust into World War II, the Korean War, followed by the Vietnam War, Bay of Pigs, the invasion of Grenada, the invasion of Panama, the Gulf War, the war in Afghanistan, the Iraq War, and a long list of other interventions and fighting. John F. Kennedy, the 35th president and a veteran of World War II, once said, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them." As President Kennedy challenged us, we must show our appreciation to our veterans rather than just to speak of their service. Now, I know you may very easily say to me, well, what makes you so knowledgeable about what we should do or how we should honor our veterans? I understand your sentiment. After all, I am not a veteran. I have never worn a military uniform. I have never put on a pair of combat boots. I have never left my home, my family, or my friends to face the uncertainty of combat. I have never jumped from an airplane into enemy territory. I have never experienced combat. I have never had to make a split-second decision concerning my life or someone else's life. And I have never held a dying comrade. You are right. There is no way that I can know what a veteran has experienced. Likewise, there is no way that I know what a veteran feels. Each veteran has his or her own unique experiences, and I have learned through my years as an educator that veterans are not always able to verbalize their experiences or even fully comprehend those experiences until much later in their lives. What can I possibly share then as a non-veteran? Very simply, I utter two short words: thank you. You see, I am thankful that I never had to leave my home, my family, or my friends to face the uncertainty of combat. I am thankful that I never experienced combat. But my thankfulness, my gratitude, does not come without a cost. That cost, the cost of freedom, was paid by our veterans. No, those two words are not adequate for those of you who have given so much that we can enjoy so much freedom today. And no, we can never repay our veterans for their service. However, we can honor our veterans on this special day as well as on all other days. So, with my heart full of gratitude and respect for all of our veterans and all they have given me and all of us, I say thank you.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for inspiring us today and for helping us understand the many attributes that veterans possess. I also want to give thanks at the closing here to the color guard from Pulaski County High School, Serena Moore, Barry Cox, Angela Talbert, the freshman chorus, and Jenny Anderson with the color guard. Additionally, I say a special thank you to our event sponsor, the Ruetan Road Ruetan Club. And I also want to introduce Mr. Glenn Broadwater, National Director of Ruetan National. He's here from Nicholsville. Glenn, would you stand, please? Welcome. We're glad that you're here. Ruetan Road, Ruetan's Club, has given us time and money and food for the event today, but also they do countless things for veterans. And we appreciate the leadership so much in that organization and look forward to a long sponsorship relationship with you. I also say thanks to Dee Dee Kennedy, Tammy Smith, Bridget Meneghetti, folks from maintenance and IT, and especially Roy Worrell and Nick Toller, Diane Gray and Yvetta Guest, Betty Gordon, Kelly Kaiser, Rhonda, Rod Reedy, Brittany and Danny, to our security, Joey, Jackie, Dave, and Don, and to all others who have helped make this event possible today. Now, as we get ready to move into the back for some refreshments, I want you to take time to go to the table, if you will, to speak to Scott Miller, who's here from the Department of Veterans Affairs at a table back there, and to Don Grossclose, who works as a Veterans Employment representative. There are two tables back here for you to visit with them. After the retiring of the flags, you're invited to a reception at the back of the room, and you can meet the vendors as you go back there. We have adult food, and that is subs, kind of for the adults, but there's pizza for the students. But if you want to do both, have pizza and subs, however you want to do that. There's plenty for everyone to eat back there. And I particularly want to thank Yvetta for getting that set up, and Kathy Ridpath for working so hard on that. Thank you so much for coming today. It is wonderful to have members of our school community, our veterans from our school community, and then veterans from our general community and others here on campus at New River Community College. And now we'll retire the colors. Color guard would come forward. Please stand. Thank you for attending.